For this episode of Showflow, we sat down with our good friend, Leslie Bateman, Partner Services Director at Family First in Tampa, Florida. Family First is a national nonprofit organization that provides programs and online resources dedicated to helping people love their families well and give them a greater hope for the future. DCE was able to offer turnkey services for an inaugural event that Family First hosted. DCE Turnkey is a comprehensive event management and planning service where our team takes your concept and runs with it. In this episode, we talk about planning their inaugural training conference and the impact it had on their attendees and team. Join us as we dive in and hear from Leslie.
Welcome to Showflow from DCE Productions, a series of conversations with clients and collaborators discussing the role of production in solving a wide range of business challenges, one event at a time. Here's our host, Samantha Golden.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Showflow. Today we have the opportunity to sit down with Leslie at Family First, and we're so excited to take this opportunity to be here in your office in Tampa, Florida, and I'd love to just kick off with learning a little bit more about Family First and all of your initiatives.
Yeah, sure. So Family First, we are a national nonprofit founded in 1991. And we reach millions of people each day through a variety of programs. What we really try to do is provide practical, timely advice so that families can love one another well. In particular, the programs that we do that through would be our iMOM and our All Pro Dad program.
Amazing. I love hearing about that. And one of the things that I think we at DC really appreciate is just getting to work with an organization, with clients that are so focused on giving back to our community and having such an impact. So I would love to hear a little bit more about how we started working together. What was that engagement like?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, we've been around for more than 30 years, and All Pro Dad is one of our signature programs. It was founded by Coach Tony Dungy, Hall of Famer Coach Tony Dungy, for those in the Tampa Bay area that know.
Bucks.
And yeah, go Bucks. We know and love him. And we were... When he helped start the organization with Mark Merrill, they decided, gosh, how can we reach men? And so that's really how the All Pro Dad program started. Coach was the Bucks. He saw that these father coaches didn't have time with their kids, and they're like, well, gosh, what can we do? And so they do tell the fun story of back when the Bucks didn't have the super cool place they have now to practice. They were over at UT. That I guess Mark and Coach Dungy said, "Hey, let's invite men to practice, like to come watch at spring practice, right? And then maybe do some activities, talk about fatherhood." And so y'all, this is the days before social media that they did this, and y'all, they opened it up and like 4,000 like dads and kids showed up.
Wow.
So they're like, wow, there's an opportunity here. So because of that and starting the program, we now have what we like to say for the All Pro Dad program is we like to tell dads that they can spend a minute a day a month, or a day a year with one of our programs. The minute a day is our All Pro Dad email. It's just like tips and tricks about how to be a dad, a father, a parent, and it's the most widely read fatherhood email that we know of.
Wow.
The second thing that we do is our All Pro Dad chapter program. That's the one day a month where dads and kids get together, character-based curriculum, usually led by volunteers. And then lastly is our one day a year, which is the stadium event we do, much like what Coach did way back when, where dads and kids come together. We've done like over 125 of those in our lifetime. So what happened with us, because of all that experience, several years ago, the Florida State Legislature, particularly Chris Sprouse, who was the Speaker of the House, decided he had really had a heart for fathers and fatherhood. And how can we in the state of Florida really empower dads? How can we help them? And so over his time in the legislature, he built a coalition of people and who said, hey, what can we do? So let's pull some funds together. Let's create the Responsible Fatherhood Initiative. So that's sort of the government name of it. And they put out an RFP, request for proposals. Reached out to us because we're a fatherhood group, asked us to apply, and we did. And so that's kind of how is sort of the genesis of the next part of how we started with y'all.
Yeah, which was a turnkey event, right?
Yes. So the RFP itself was for us doing like a multi-million-dollar media campaign to get dads involved. It also involved the state giving out, millions and millions of dollars to over 40 organizations
Wow.
who deliver services to dads, mentorship services. And we also signed up to help provide training and technical assistance. So we, again, because we like to do things with excellence, had worked with others across the country who had done this type of providing services. And they said, these organizations, these grantees, shall we call them, they want to get together in person. You really need to do an in-person conference. Now, that was not in our proposal, but we heard them and said, no, you're right. We need to do that.
Yeah.
So we knew we didn't have the staff to do that here. We knew we needed it completely turnkey. My first job out of college was running a national conference. I know what it takes. And I had friends over at DC, and I called them up and I said, hey, I'd love to talk to you. What can you do?
Yeah, and with turnkey, we get to collaborate and work on everything from branding, event name, vendor and venue selection, food and beverage decisions, website design. I mean, we work on everything from attendee pre-event communication to day of logistics, timeline execution, budget. I mean, everything. So how was that collaboration process like for you working?
Oh
with
my
DCE?
goodness. I think one of our, it's very important when you have a partner that they are professional and that you can trust them. And so I knew because of the people at DCE that those two pieces, those two boxes were checked. I knew that it would be professional, and I knew I could trust you to do what we needed to do. And this was one of those floating time frame conferences. I think we thought we were going to do it in August to
Yep.
start, and then we're going to do it in October, and then it moved to January. And you all at every point, you were ready for whenever. I mean, the whole team really just jumped in. The whole team came together, and we'll help you find the hotel. We'll get your website up. We can handle registration, all the way to, can you help us do icebreakers for these people?
Yep.
So some content too. So again, we couldn't have done it on our own.
And we're so happy. That's what we want to do. With these turnkey services, we want to understand what are the business objectives, what are the conference goals, and then how can we exceed expectations. And I'm happy we were able to come in and support that. And because this was an inaugural event, we always run into challenges and problems. So what were some of the fun things that we got to help you guys through for this first one?
Well, we didn't have a lot of time to pull the event together. So that was obviously just time. And then secondly, because it was inaugural, we had an idea of content and an idea of the fact we needed the teams, the people that were attending, to have opportunity to connect. And so we really did lean on you all to say, hey, what have you done with other events to allow those goals to occur? And, you, like I said, you all weren't afraid to, jump in and say, well, hey, we've done this at this conference, or we've seen this flow work well, or gosh, I don't know if I would do it that way. So we really felt like those challenges we had of, again, not doing this before, you all just stepped up and helped us accomplish our goal.
Thank you. And that's what we want to do every
Yep.
single time. And so again, thinking about this being kind of a first time event, and I know we've talked through the importance of bringing everyone together. What was the feedback like from the attendees and from the team after this inaugural event?
Well, for those of you from your team who were there, I don't think people wanted to leave at the end of the day or the end of the sessions.
Love that.
Because they really did find, as we were told, that face-to-face time, peer-to-peer learning, that was kind of the word we heard. They loved it. So we could tell we could tell almost immediately from the first night's event through the next day of training and then into the following, like we could tell immediately that it was received well. But also the surveys afterwards, when we asked, we got like off the chart, surveys of what everything from the whole component.
Amazing.
So I think for your team, again, for ensuring that when you walk into the event, then the lighting is right, the music is right, the flow is right. I mean, the setting is so important. And even from our registration, from the moment, I mean, your team helped. Like, we didn't have staff to help do registration. We didn't have staff to do the signage. I mean, everything. And so you all really worked as an extension of who we are.
Yeah.
And represented us well, we felt.
Thank you. That's always the goal. Yep. We want to
You
fill in
did.
those gaps, take any stress off of your team. I mean, that's part of Turnkey too, is just understanding every single detail and then taking them off so then we can bear that load so you guys can do what's really important, which is engaging with your attendees and making those meaningful connections and experiences for them. And I want to hear more about those folks that were in the room. So tell me about the organizations and the attendees that were there.
So we had both our government partners. So that would be the Florida Department of Children and Families is actually who administers the conference. And then also the nonprofits that I mentioned who had been awarded these multi-millions of dollars. And they had received, there were kind of 3 buckets of grant money. So the kinds of people we had there were, I mean, kind of the likes of the Boys and Girls Club. So
Okay.
think about those groups who, do mentorship and offer services to dads and kids, to little, I'm going to call nonprofits who they've been doing this kind of bootstrapping themselves for years. Again, all with a love for, hey, how do we help dads be good dads? And then how can we mentor kids who need mentoring, leadership, and lessons. So we had sort of the executive directors of those organizations. We had the programmatic folks from those organizations. So it was really a nice, and I think every single organization sent someone to the event. So yes, that it was, again, for us, we picked a great place, a great time, great price point. I mean, all those things you all helped us do, because again, these are new organizations who may not have, the dollars to travel and spend. So we tried to make it, economical, affordable, but yet felt like it was in a, good place and professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love getting to hear just about all of the different types of organizations, the individuals who are there, and what they're able to benefit and receive just out of participating in this initiative. I think, to me, it sounds like your reach is very extensive, and you touch so many, not in the local community, but nationwide.
For sure.
So love getting to hear all of that, and getting to just play the teeniest part in your success means so much to us. So I also would love to just hear a little bit about, again, kind of working with our team, and how would you describe working with DCE?
So the words that I came up with that I already mentioned at the top, were professional, of course, and someone I could trust, but also you made it simple. You made it easy, so a little bit different, and just super collaborative. I mean, at every point, I could tell you were on our team and you understood our goals, and again, brought to bear your experience with past groups to ensure we could do what we need to do. And you guys were always accessible. I mean, I could call, the 2 or 3 people on the team, pick up the call, pick up the phone, email, get a quick response. And again, because we were on this weird rolling time frame, that was a comfort.
Yeah, which is, again, what we want to do. We want to be that comfort, the warm and fuzzy, to know that we're going to get the job done. It's going to be an amazing event. So I'm happy that we were able to do all that.
Well, and then on site too, you had the technical team in the back. You had the team helping with the logistics. I mean, you were there, and just, again, your presence and your ability to do whatever was necessary to help us. Again, it was just like being part of, our team.
Yeah, which is the extension of the team, feeling that partnership. That's always our goal. That way, we have your back is kind of what the feeling we want you to walk away with.
We got it.
Good.
You succeeded.
Oh, thank you. Amazing. So Leslie, tell me, what do you think the future of this event looks like?
But this this grant that we have, it lasts for 3 years. So we totally intend to do this again with you all and have already started planning
Yep.
for this next conference. And again, we'll be looking to you. You've already been working with us to help identify the right location now that you know what we need. I love it because you all give us a variety of styles of hotels, locations. We've looked at different cities. Again, totally appreciate the insight you bring into, gosh, knowing how this conference runs. We need to do things a certain way. And then also, I think with the content that we're doing this time, it's going to be a little bit different, but I still believe we'll lean on you all, not only for the location, but like I'm looking at my notebook from last year. You helped us name the conference.
Yeah.
You really helped us brand it. And so we'll look to you to help us do those portions as well.
Yeah.
And then just to improve upon what we did, last year.
Yeah, always growing, always
Yes.
moving forward.
So I'm hoping we get to do this at least 2 more times with the grant dollars that we have. And again, super well received from the state. We had somebody from the Secretary of DCF's Deputy Secretary came, spoke. Again, all very complimentary. And I think we've exceeded their expectations for what we're doing for these organizations. And the conference was just one more piece of that. So thank you all.
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for letting us be a part of it. I know at DCE, we are thrilled to see how this continues to evolve and grow. And we're so happy to be part of your team on this event. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We really appreciated this conversation and getting to be in your wonderful space here, this headquarters space in Tampa, Florida. So thank you again, and thank you for all that you are doing and all that your team is doing here at Family First. The impacts you're having on this community and the broader community are just so impressive and inspiring. So thank you for all you do. And thank you for partnering with us. And thank you for joining us today and tuning in to watch this episode of Showflow. Please be sure to subscribe and follow us. Check out the next episode.
Thanks for listening. You can find out more by visiting us at dceproductions.com/showflow.